Hey guys, so in today's video I'm going to be doing an unhaul of all the books that I'm going to get rid of. These are basically books that I've had for a while and I just don't plan on reading them. I bought them at the time and I do this thing where I buy books and I just don't read them when I get them, and then time goes on and I realized that I just am not ever going to read them. Some of you guys commented that you wanted to see this unhauling video, so let's just get started. Also, another reason why I have to get rid of some of my books is because I have this bookshelf and I have a TBR cart, but that's it. Like, this bookshelf isn't that big. I want to buy a new one, but I just am waiting to get some more money to do that. But in the meantime, I have to get rid of some of these books that I'm not going to read, so I actually have room on my shelf for books, because look at this. Yeah, there's no spot for those. You might say this is a spot. No, it's not, because that's a series. Like, I'm not going to stack a random book on top of a series. Like, I'm not doing that, sorry. Anyways, the first book is Act Your Age Eve Brown by Talia Hibbert, I think. I feel like this is Act Your Age Chloe Brown. I feel like that was the book that was first. I got this as a blind date with a book and I just didn't really want to read it. I was like, oh, this is cute. Like, I know of this book, because sometimes you get a blind date with a book and you don't even like know the book. But I knew this, but I just like, I don't know. I just don't think that I'll ever pick this up. Just not really what I'm looking for. So first unhaul. Next is The Fault in Our Stars by John Green. This was a book that I got at the library. Like, the library was getting rid of books and I wanted to leave with something. That's another thing, is I just impulsively buy books just so I can like say that I bought a book. Really bad habit. But yeah, I've seen the movie of this. It is very sad. Not in the mood to read sad books really ever, so I don't think I'll be picking this up. A Little Hope by Ethan Joella. I think this is like about a family. Yeah, it's about a family and I guess the dad is like diagnosed with cancer. I think this is just like a regular fiction book, and me personally, I don't really read those. I just got this as like my first ever book of the month book, and like I said, I don't really read these type of books. Next is Layla by Colleen Hoover. This is about, so she loses her memory or something, so he takes her away out of the hospital to help rekindle the relationship, and apparently he meets some other girl there at this like bed and breakfast, and Layla goes like crazy. I don't think that I'll ever read many of Colleen Hoover books anymore. Next is Hardwired by Meredith Wild. I think I got this at like an open house sale. That's not the word for it. What is that called? I think it's whenever someone like passes away and then like their whole house is up for sale. I don't know what that's called, but that's where I got it from. It was like $1 and I was like, gotta get a book. So it's about this girl. Hold on. I actually might keep this. It's about this girl and this guy. He's like an investor and he's like arrogant and a billionaire. Oh, and he's a hacker. Okay. I take that back. I'm actually gonna keep this book. Next is East of Eden by John Steinbeck. Someone commented on my YouTube and said that this was like a Cain and Abel retelling, and I think that's a really cool concept, but I just genuinely don't think that I will be reading any classics or any type of literary fictions like this. I just want to be interested in this enough to want to read it or anything like that. Unless I were to do reading like classic books or literary fiction books for a week. Let me know if you guys want to see that video. If so, I will keep this book and possibly read it in that video. Other than that though, I don't see any reason to keep this. This next one is actually on one of my latest videos for my February TBR, but I just really don't think that I'll read it. Whenever it got put on my TBR, I was like, okay, I'm either going to read this month or I'm going to get rid of it because I've had it forever. And that is Girl in Pieces by Kathleen Glasgow. This is a really sad and depressing book about this girl that's really just depressed, and I just don't want to read that. I had this era in my life where I was reading sad books like A Year of Rest and Relaxation and like The Bell Jar, and I was like getting depressed from them, so I just would rather read happy books. Next is Beautiful Bad by Annie Ward. I think this is a marriage that goes wrong. It says no marriage is perfect and something goes wrong in their marriage and there is blood right there. I might keep this one actually. I don't know. I feel like it could be good. It's kind of giving, what is that one marriage book? I don't remember what it's called, but I know on the cover there's like a ring on it. I think it's called The Perfect Marriage. Don't quote me on it. Maybe it's kind of like that book. I don't know. This is also going with Hardwired, and I might keep it. Next is This Man by Jodi Ellen Malpass. I don't know. Oh, it's autographed. Autographed copy. That's kind of cool. I didn't really know like what it was about, but I just read the back of it and it's like a really steamy romance. It's like a series. There's 2 other books down here, and I was just flipping through it, you know, to like look and see if it was like really a lot of that stuff, and it is. I just want more of like a chemistry, like a tension, you know what I mean? For example, slow burns like Powerless or Binding 13, they didn't even kiss for so long. Books that they don't even kiss until the last few chapters and there's just so much tension throughout the book, I prefer those over just, you know, throughout the whole book. Next is The Hating Game by Sally Thorne. This is one of my OG book talk books. I think the very first Barnes & Noble order that I ever did, this was part of it. I just went online and I did a big order of books. Yeah, I never read it. Everyone knows about this book, I feel like. It's a workplace enemies to lovers. And I know there's a movie, so if I ever wanted to like know the story, I'd probably just watch the movie, even though the movie I've heard doesn't do this justice, but I just really do not see myself ever reading this. Next is A Scarecrow by Michael Connolly. This is a thriller, I think. Yeah, it's about a writer, and apparently he writes about his own like murder. I think I got this at a thrift store for like $1 because I just wanted to further my book collection, but now that I have a book collection, I am gonna get rid of this because I don't think I'll ever read it. Next is Joy in the Morning by Betty Smitten. I don't know why I bought this because I don't think that I'll ever read this, and I don't think I even thought I was gonna read it when I bought this, so I don't know why I got it. It is very old. The pages are literally yellow. I don't even know what it's about. Basically, it's this girl and the world naturally tries its best to corrupt her, but she's not having any part of it, whatever that means. Don't think that this would be a good book at all that I would want to read. I'm sorry. I don't mean that in a mean way. I just don't think that I would enjoy this book at all. Next is Verity by Colleen Hoover. Everyone knows about Verity. Once again, got this at a thrift store. Once again, don't think I'll read any more Colleen Hoover books. Colleen Hoover introduced me into reading. I think Ugly Love was the first ever book that I read getting back into reading, so I do thank her for that, but after reading like so many other authors, I don't think that I would go back to her. It's more of like a beginner into reading, I guess. I did read the first few chapters of this like on my Kindle a long time ago, and I think it's about this girl that goes to this ex-author's house. Also, the ex-author's husband lives there, and I think that they kind of like have a thing. I don't know, and it's really creepy. There's something about twins. Anyways, I know it's creepy. This is the main book that people have been like, oh, you don't like Colleen Hoover, but at least read Verity. But I don't think that I will read Verity, if I'm being honest. So I'm just gonna get rid of it. Next is Beautiful Boy by David Sheff. I've seen the movie to this and it is so heartbreaking and sad. I don't think I'll read this book because of how sad it was. Like I said, I don't really like reading sad books. I hate the way that they make me feel. I don't like it because I am like, is it like an empath? Is the person that feels other people's emotions like so heavily? I don't know. Either way, I feel book people's emotions so much. Like for example, Magnolia Parks. I was actually like heartbroken. That put me in a major slump because of how like heartbroken I was from those characters. Like I feel so heavily for the characters that I'm reading about. That's why I just like to stay away from sad books recently. Most of the time, not just recently, but after reading those, it's kind of like whatever I'm reading, that's the kind of mood that I'm in. I don't know why. Anyways, this is about a boy and his dad, and he struggles with drugs, and you basically just see him struggle with drugs and the effects of drug addiction on your family and how it's hard to overcome it and trying to succeeding and failing at some points. It was just a really heartbreaking story. It was so sad. Now the last book for this unhauling video is The Spanish Love Deception by Elena Armas. I just heard that this book was repetitive and longer than it needed to be, but I didn't hear that until like literally like a week after I got this, and then I was just like, I don't want to read like a 400-page romance book for no reason, you know? I mean, it's pretty, it's cute, it looks good on my shelf, but if I'm not gonna read it, I'm gonna get rid of it and have room for the books that I'm actually gonna read. There is another stack. I'm just giving them to my mom. I guess I could show those actually. Hold on. There's not really that many because it's like a series, but first is Me Before You by Jojo Moyes. I don't know. And this is a movie, as you can see. From what I know from like the movie, I haven't seen it, but I've seen like clips of it off of TikTok. He's in like a wheelchair and she offers to take care of him and like be there for him because he's paralyzed, and I think there's like a love story between them. That's the gist of it. This was originally my mom's, but then I took it at the very beginning of like my reading journey just because I wanted to have books, but I don't think that I would ever actually read this. I really do want to watch the movie though. I feel like everyone needs to watch this movie, or everyone has watched this movie, so I will definitely be watching the movie, just not reading the book. These are also all books. Honestly, all these books are books that I took from my mom and I'm now giving back. So it is this cover of Twilight, and then it's the original Twilight covers, but I only have 3, so I'm missing one obviously, but these, just because I don't have room for them, I will probably end up reading the Twilight series at some point in my life, just not right now, and I just don't have room for them. And then actual last book is Midnight Sun, which is also part of the, I almost said Shatter Me series, Twilight series. This is basically everything that happens in Twilight but in Edward's point of view, and it is ginormous. I do not think that I will ever read this book. Anyways, that is all the books that I'm getting rid of. I'm probably going to take them to Chamberlain, which is my local little bookstore where you can give them books and then they'll give you store credit to buy more books, which I do not need, but I'm going to do anyways. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Comment below any other video ideas that you want me to see. I am definitely open to suggestions. Go follow my Goodreads, Instagram, TikTok, all of that stuff linked down in the description in my link tree. Like this video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you haven't already. So many new subscribers lately, and I'm so thankful for every single one of you, and I love you guys so much. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye!